Hi, good morning. It is Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. It's time for your morning briefing. A couple of things to talk about today. We do have a severe risk across parts of the East Coast today as that cold front slowly moves offshore and also stalls out in areas. We also have Tropical Storm Bertha not too far away from making landfall. Those are two key messages today. Here's the current satellite and radar. You notice a couple things. You see a lot of clouds and rain across the eastern U.S., mostly east of the Mississippi River. You have Tropical Storm Bertha down there in the Gulf, and you also have a plume of moisture across parts of the Central Plains today. And you see that haze across parts of Washington, Montana, North Dakota, even down into the Ozarks. That is some smoke that is funneling down from the fires out across the Northwest and also in Canada. Not as thick smoke as what we saw across the Great Lakes and Northeast last week, but a good bit of smoke there will reduce air quality over the next couple of days. Let's go and talk about Tropical Storm Bertha this morning, if I can find my mouse. There we go. There's the center of circulation there, just about due south of Pascagoula, not too far from making landfall in southeast Louisiana. This system will sort of cut across parts of southeast Louisiana today, kind of perhaps go directly over the New Orleans area. Maybe some gusty winds, some heavy rain in areas, but of course that wind shear is still really affecting this system and is causing a lot of the convection to be displaced from the center. So that's keeping the flood potential down, while also still providing chances for a few scattered showers and storms that could produce some gusty winds and perhaps a brief tornado or two. So not going to be a major type of event, but still eventful for some locals across the area today. Rough surf as well, of course, going to be a concern for marine and beachgoers. So there's the front. You can kind of see it pretty well defined. It's just kind of this really big arcing cold front across the mid-south and east today. This portion of the front right here will pretty much stall it over the next couple of days, and we will see quite a flood event across parts of the Carolinas into southeast Virginia. We'll go and take a look at the future radar. Actually, first of all, let's talk about the severe outlook real quick. We have two slight risks, one across parts of Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, and North Carolina, and then we have one across Maine. These are mainly for damaging winds, but there could be an isolated tornado or two in spots with those stronger storms, and a couple marginal risks out west, mainly for damaging winds and large hail. Let's go ahead and go through the future radar today. We'll kind of just talk about what we expect this afternoon and tonight. Mainly just going to be some scattered showers and storms across parts of Maine today, mainly damaging winds. Could see an isolated instance of hail or two. Can't rule out a tornado, but I think the greatest threat for damaging winds is going to be across parts of the Mid-Atlantic today, across parts of North Carolina and Virginia, areas like that, along that stalled cold front. And you can see it's just going to rain for a while. We have one round this morning that's already ongoing. May get a couple of breaks in between this evening, and then another round fires up overnight tonight. We'll take a look at the extended HER model and just show you guys over the next couple of days. This is going into tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. Still a bunch of rain across the region, even going into Friday. That's just due to this very slow-moving cold front that's just going to, pretty much stalled out cold front, that's just going to sit. And with some decent synoptic forcing, that is a recipe for a lot of rain and flash flooding. We'll take a look at the total precip, the forecast precip off the 12Z HER. Kind of pushes all the way out to Friday 7 a.m. I think rain amounts could be higher than this in some areas. Obviously, models are not going to depict rainfall perfectly, but you can see where the ceiling is. I mean, you can see some areas here across parts of North Carolina picking up 6 to 8 inches of rain. That is quite possible, not just in that region, but across really much of the state. Not saying that much of the state is going to see that amount of rain, but that potential exists for some areas across the state. Where that drought exists, there's still a fairly significant drought ongoing across parts of Virginia and the Carolinas This should take care of that drought pretty well. It may not eradicate it for everyone, but I think a lot of areas are going to see some recovery, some decent relief from it. We'll take a look at the blend of models, the NBM, and kind of give you guys an idea of what the NBM is projecting for rainfall totals. We'll push this all the way out to, we'll go Monday morning. So throughout the rest of this week and into early next week. Now, not as much rain as forecast before, and this is a model that was fairly aggressive with some of the rainfall totals. Showing a widespread 4 to 6 inches across the state. Not as high as it was. But still, even depending on, of course, what areas pick up heavier rainfall amounts due to training storms or slow-moving storms, that's going to play a huge role into those localized rainfall amounts. And that's where we're concerned about some areas picking up some considerable, potentially catastrophic flash flooding across parts of the general region. We'll take a look at the excessive rainfall outlook for today. We do have a moderate risk, level 3 out of 4, across parts of North Carolina, Virginia, mainly from north of Raleigh-Durham, and that will include parts of Virginia Beach and Norfolk. But even then, some significant flash flooding could still occur in parts of the slight risk as well. So definitely something to pay attention to today, tomorrow, and into this weekend, as we do have the potential for some significant flash flooding over the course of the next few days. So temperatures, we'll close off with that for today, and it's going to be a hot one. I was looking at some of the forecast temperatures for the next few days, and not so much hot for the Midwest, because we did that cold front. It's going to be a pleasant day across the Midwest, very unsummer-like, so enjoy this. If you're across the Midwest today, or Northern Plains, or even parts of Northeast, enjoy this. Hopefully it's a sign of an early fall, maybe. I mean, if you're into that, hopefully it's a sign. Maybe, maybe not. We can't tell till it actually arrives, but across the South, the story is not the same. It's going to be very hot outside of where Bertha is. It's going to be very, very hot. Many areas across the Southeast, from Florida to Carolinas, mid to upper 90s. Across the Southern Plains, temperatures in the 100s. Out west, also fairly hot as well. The high elevation is also going to be pretty warm today as well. We'll go into tomorrow, and kind of a similar story. Warms up a little bit across the Northern Plains, but still very pleasant across the Midwest and East Coast even. I mean, goodness. Late July, highs in the 70s and 80s. I will take that any day. From me being from the South, I wish I could have that. I'm a little bit jealous, but we know fall is coming. It is late July. For most people, the climatological peak we'll be past that climatological peak in about a week or so. So it's not going to get cooler immediately after that, but we do start to very slowly kind of start that decline as far as temperatures, as far as average temperatures. So we're getting there. We're getting towards fall. It will be here soon enough. Still, again, very hot across the west. A little cooler in some areas, as we do still have some influence from that trough off the west coast, but still very hot across the south. One thing I do want to check just before we close out here, let's talk about the future heat indices. We'll start off with today, because that is going to be quite the story today. Is going to be temperatures, in the 90s and 100 degree mark. That's fine, but when you have all this moisture coming in from Bertha, it's pulling all that moisture. I mean, it's just going to get so flipping hot. Heat indices, many areas could see heat indices perhaps 110 to 120. This model could be overdoing it a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of these are true. I mean, it's just going to be so hot. Temperatures in the low 100s, dew points in the upper 70s, perhaps some areas around 80s. So hot, humid, very dangerous heat expected today and into tomorrow. We'll take a look at tomorrow too. Not as hot, but still very hot across many areas, and I expect some adjustment to this as well, as we still have a lot of heat, a lot of moisture as well. So for outdoor activities, just if you're going to be outdoors, take this heat seriously today and tomorrow. take frequent breaks, stay hydrated, and if you can avoid being outdoors, do so. It is going to be very dangerous heat for many areas. So that'll go ahead and do it for today's briefing. Not a very brief video. I thought today was going to be 5 minutes long. I guess it ended up being 10 minutes, but that's okay. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.